Okay, so just to get us going here, Gabriel, what's number one?
I said, negative, oh wait, yeah, negative x plus 5.
Very good. Isabella, number two? Negative w plus 2, very good. We're going to distribute the negative. Yeah, I got it going. Thanks for reminding me, huh? Number three, Ava? Good. Distribute the 6. Okay, number 4, Alyssa? What's the graph look like? Very good. The open circle means we're not including that number. We didn't have the equal to in our inequality symbol, so we weren't including it. All right? Is that, whoa, wrong way. Is 2 a solution to that inequality down there? Cole? No, why not?
Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4.
Yeah, negative 4 is not less than negative 6, is it? It's actually bigger, right? All right, very good. You guys just are so smart. Make my job so easy. All right, so today we're going to solve linear equations and inequalities. And different methods we're going to use. When we solve the inequalities, we're going to graph them on the number line, our solution. So that's the type of things we're doing today. This is really easy day for you, so it won't take us too long to get through this. And you should have enough time to get all your homework done before you leave. Okay, an equation is a mathematical statement that 2 expressions are equivalent or equal. So it's just, if I put those warm-up things, if I put this equals 5, we've turned it into an equation. That's all. Or equals w plus 3 or something like that. The solution set of an equation is the value or values of the variable that make the solution true, or the equation true. So some of our answers will be just a single answer, and some will be multiple answers, or an infinite number of solutions. A linear equation in one variable can be written in the form ax equals b, where a and b are constants, and a cannot be 0. Because if a was 0, then 0 times x would be 0. We wouldn't have our x times 1. All right? So again, this is stuff you guys already knew from Algebra 1. And over here on the left, all of these are linear equations in one variable. And over here, these types of equations, which we'll learn how to solve later this year, sometime during the year, we'll be able to solve all of them, are nonlinear equations. Okay, so if I were to graph a linear equation, what's it look like? A line, yeah, that's where the line is in the word linear, right? When we get square roots and x squareds in the denominator and x as an exponent, they're curved graphs. Won't be a straight line. Okay. X is not under a radical sign, not raised to a power other than 1, is also not an exponent. It's not in the denominator. So any of those, if x is in any of those, it's a nonlinear equation. Okay? But these are the ones we're going to concentrate on now. Really easy to solve. Okay? Properties of equality are just saying what you do to one side of an equation, you do, yeah, you guys all know that rule, right? So if I, in this one, they added 2 to this side, so they got to add 2 to that side. Here's subtraction. So that's all those are. Again, just understand that when we're solving an equation, we have to be fair, we have to do the same thing to both sides to keep it balanced, okay? Our equal sign is like our balance spot, right? So, Audrey, what's the first thing you would do to solve this equation?
Multiply like over, so 34m plus 4 times 12 48.
Right.
Equals 92.
In other words, distribution.
Correct. So we're going to use the distributive property, multiply 4 by both. All right. So what's the next thing, Brady? Right. Our goal is to get m alone when we solve, so we're going to subtract 48. When we take something to the opposite side, we're doing the opposite. The opposite of adding 48, we're subtracting. That gives us nothing there. And what do we have over here? 84? Negative 84, right? Autumn, now what? Yeah, this is 4 times m, so to move it to the opposite side, we divide by 4, do the opposite. Close.
Negative.
Yeah, don't forget about your negative sign. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. All right, you guys all know this, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you know how to distribute. You know how to get the variable alone, right? So we don't need to do another one like this, do we?
No.
We got this part, right? Distribute again and get the variable alone. Okay. What's my equation for this word problem? Liz, what do you think? You can read it, maybe sometimes you gotta read it more than once, that's okay. You don't have to get it done in like 3 seconds. Take your time. All of you should be thinking about this as Liz is gonna tell me what to write.
Twelve 95 times 200 plus 0.07.
Okay, so it says, you get 12.95, no matter what, right? And that's for 200 minutes. All right? Then it says, if you go over 200 minutes, additional minute, it's going to cost you 7 cents per minute. Do I need that 200 in there? In your equation? No, okay. So what comes after the 12.95? Yeah, and I'm going to add it, right? And what variable you want to use? Okay. M for extra minutes. And what's that equal? Right. Her bill was $14.56. Okay, so every month you're going to get charged at least this much, right? But if you're on the phone more than 200 minutes, then for every minute over 200 minutes, past that, they're going to charge you 7 cents. Hunter?
Can't you just do the 14 and then minus 12 and then divide that by 7?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do now, right? But to write the equation, that's what it looks like. Yeah, so we're going to subtract the 12.95 and divide by 0.07. And again, I know some of you guys could maybe just do all that in your head, but we're just practicing writing equations and solving them right now. So make sure you write it. What is that? Isn't it like $1.61?
Yeah.
and then
I have you on there.
divide. What's the answer, JR?
200 is the perfect answer hours. For the first, like, 23.
23, right?
Yeah. Never mind. Okay.
Right. You just forgot the point 0 in front of the 6.
No. Or the decimal number.
All right. So that means she was on the phone for 223 minutes that month, right? Okay. Joey, what's this equation? Let me get to it. There we go. So we got cup stack. One cup is 3.25 inches high, and then each cup that you put on top raises it 0.25 inches.
So that 3.25.
Why is it doing that? Yep, 3.25 to start.
Well, like a variable
Well, what are we gonna do after 3.25?
plus
Yeah,
0.25
0.25, yeah, and a variable, what do you wanna use?
m
Okay,
equals 14.
that's all.
Yeah.
We okay with that? Then from there, you guys know how to solve it, right? Okay? Yeah, I think the answer is 43, right? Yeah. So 43 cups we could stack on that shelf and be able to fit between the next shelf up. Questions? Everybody follow so far? Okay, so you have a few word problems. Write your equation and solve your equation. Okay? All right, if there are variables on both sides of the equation, 1, simplify each side. 2, collect all variable terms on one side and all constant terms on the other. And then get the variable by itself, like we've been doing. All right? So, here's one of those where we got variables on both sides. Derek, what are you going to do first?
Simplify.
Yep.
So, would it be 3 plus negative 14?
Yeah, which is what? Since they're like terms.
11, okay? Negative 11, okay?
Yep. Man, every time I touch it, it wants to jump on me. Negative 11K, good?
Simplify from the other side, okay? Combine it with 6, okay? You do that?
Well, let's simplify that first, then we'll take care of the 6K.
Oh, then 2, 10, negative 10.
Good. So that's first step, simplify each side, right? All right, that was 1. All right. Next is to get, well, not by itself yet. We got to get our variables together and our constants together, right, on one side. All right, so, Mr. Ryan.
Do negative 11 plus negative 6.
Yeah, you want to take the 6K to that side. So would you add negative 6 or just add 6?
Negative 6. Or no, you just add 6.
Right, just add the 6.
Do the smaller one or the bigger one after?
It doesn't matter. Your choice. You want to put the K's on the left or you can put them on the right.
Oh.
Okay? It does not matter. So we got negative 5K. Now that the K's are on the left, then we're going to get everything else where? To the right. Okay? And again, from here, you guys, just like the other ones when we started, right? What's negative 5 divided by or negative 35 divided by negative 5? Positive 7. Very good. Okay. Questions? All right, so what should I do first for this one? How about Kendra? Good. Distribute the 3 first. Then what? Oops. Then what, Kendra? Okay. All right, we're good? So distribute, combine like terms, simplify. Chelsea, what are you going to do now?
Would you subtract the W from one side and add it to the other? Or subtract it to the other?
Yeah. I'm going to also do this. You guys okay if I do that? 2 steps at once. You with me, everybody? So I took the W, like Chelsea said, to the left, but then I took the 21 to the other side. Okay? So it's negative 3W. And what is that? Negative 9. And then divide by negative 3. We get a positive 3. Okay, so we got this, right? Yeah. All right. Very good. So simplify if you have to. If you got stuff on both sides, get your variables on one. Again, it doesn't matter which side, left or right. And then get your variable alone. Sometimes you have we've always gotten one answer so far. Equations may also have infinite solutions or no solution. It says an equation that is true for all values of the variables, such as x equals x. So if you start going through your problem and you get the exact same thing on both sides, it's called an identity. That means no matter what you put in for x, it's going to work. Okay? All real numbers will work as a solution. Sometimes you'll get to cancel stuff out, moving stuff back and forth, and you'll get a false statement. That's called a contradiction. That means there is no solution. Usually for those, we'll just put a circle with a line through it. That means no solution. That means empty set, remember? But if you just want to write no solution, you can. All right, so sometimes that happens. All right? Okay. What happened to my problems that were supposed to be on there? All right. So anyway, 5x. Don't worry. It's okay, JR. I'll get through it. Thanks, though. Just distribute. Then I'm going to bring the x's together. What happens to my x's? They cancel on both sides, right? So is this a true or a false statement? So that's a contradiction, so there is no solution, right? Here, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times negative 3x is negative 9x. Negative 7x. Negative 2 times x. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. What do you see here on each side? True. They're the same thing, aren't they? Just different order, but they're the same thing. Once you realize they're exactly the same, we call that an identity. You don't have to finish it. And then what's that mean? All real numbers, right? Infinite number of solutions. So that's going to happen once in a while. Okay? Some of your homework problems will probably do that. Okay, Izzy? You with me? Not quite. We got to go over a couple of inequalities, then we'll get to homework. All right, inequality uses these symbols, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than, equal to, or not equal to. All right. The properties of equality are true for inequalities. Same rules when we're solving an inequality. One important difference. If you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, you must do what to the inequality symbol? Reverse it, switch it. So if you have a less than problem, I guess I would do this way. Okay, there you go. No, it would be this way. Okay. Look at that. So if you have a less than symbol, and you divide it by a -2, you're gonna have to change it to greater than. All right? So there's just the rules for inequalities of that. Shows you why. You guys already remember that, right? So let's say I take this 13a from the right side to the left, and I'm gonna do 2 steps at once again. So 8 minus 13 is a -5. And again, those cancel. And I get a 10. So in this situation, I'm dividing by -5. So then I would go A is greater than or equal to -2. Since I divided by a negative, I switch it. You're also supposed to do what after you solve it? Graph it, okay? So you don't have to make a huge number line. Whatever the answer is, put it in the middle. What's one number left of -2? One number right? -1. That's, you don't have to do the whole thing. You know, a bunch of them, that's fine. What goes at -2? Circle or solid dot? Solid dot. And then will I go to the right or to the left?
Right.
To the right.
Flip it.
Oh,
Did you flip it?
I said flip it, but I didn't, did I? Why did I do that? So it should have been the other way, right?
Oh, so
Okay? We got this? Pretty easy section, right? All right, so here's your homework.
Go.
While you're working on that, I'll come around and show you your tests. I will not let you keep them yet. Probably tomorrow or the next day we can keep them.